Hello there, welcome back to the land of Kekiak. My name is Laurel and I am the mom of 3 boys who I homeschool using the Robinson curriculum as the base of our homeschool education. Today I am talking about math and then moving along in my series where I'm going over my math sequence prior to the Saxon math years, and today we are talking about first grade. I would say if you haven't watched any of my videos before and you do not have my math sequence document, which is linked down below, I would just pause the video and go download that. It will have links to almost all of the resources I talk about today. I did have something come in the mail today that I didn't have on the document, but I'll link that separately. So I will wait for you to do that now. Okay, so you're back. You have your own copy of the math sequence, and we are on going over first grade. So remember, the grades I give are just approximate. To me, it's really the order of things that matters, that they are just building in their skill and competence and understanding in a gentle way, and that we're not like trying to cram them, you know, round pegs into square holes because of grades, you know. I'll just go over what I have for first grade. You feel free to go down to the math playlist. I'll have linked to my previous 2 videos to see what I did prior to this grouping of resources. Okay, so the first thing I have under reading, I have Number Stories Book 2. If you watched my kindergarten video, you'll know that I went over Number Stories Book 1. They do make a Number Stories Book 2. It is harder to find, but I do like to have some kind of book that they go through. And you know, these books, I don't necessarily think that they need to be, it's not like I necessarily expect them to get through all of this in 1 year. This may stretch over, you know, first and second grade. This goes over a whole bunch of stuff. Some stuff you may skip, like they go over telling time. And I don't know that my first grader, that might just be too much. So you can edit out. You don't have to cover everything just because it's in a book, you know. I'll probably do that later on its own. Now, I also found this. It's called First Year in Number, and I just printed my own copy off. It was, I think it's in public domain, so it was a free thing to just print, a free resource. It's introducing the study of arithmetic. It's supposed to be like a primer for math versus, you know, like a primer for reading. So it's really cute though. Look how they start out with counting. And I mean, this is one of these resources you could get at an earlier age as well. And then you just don't necessarily have to, you don't have to finish everything in 1 year. This could be spanning, you know, kindergarten and first grade, or first and second grade, just depending on what your child is doing. And then I liked this activity. It says for counting and building. And it's all just like these straight sticks because I have some counting sticks. And so I like that I can actually open this up and I can have my little guys try to copy these images with their sticks, and then they can like count how many sticks it took, right? Just simple things that are fun for them. And it goes all the way up to, I mean, it's kind of even, so there's addition, there's up to 13. One thing I do like is all the illustrations in it, because they make a really nice, I'm trying to show you the big one. Again, they've got time in here, which I may or may not do, but like look at this one. This one goes all the way up to multiplication, which your child may or may not get to in first grade. I guess it depends on your kid. But see these cute girls? I just love those. But you know, this is a really good incentive that you can color the picture when you're done. You know, I know that my middle son loved to color in anything in his books that I gave him. So that was kind of a built-in reward for finishing a lesson, would be to color. And then on pages like where there wasn't any pictures like this, I would let him just like draw something on the page. Like draw whatever you want. It was usually trucks and tanks and stuff. Okay, so those are some books that you could look at. Now, math facts. So I've already talked in previous videos a little bit about my math fact flashcards. I have a whole list, a playlist on introducing some of the concepts that the cards go over. So we do all 4 operations on there with the abacus, and I like to just have them as they are moving up in their ability, just to always kind of start on the abacus and see how it works on the abacus, and before I made them do it on paper so that they could get familiar with the concept. And then math fact flashcards. So this was the first year that I introduced actual math fact flashcards. Robinson, this is like a staple. This is the staple of their early math program. I did not buy Robinson's cards just because they were too expensive for me, but I did find Dollar Tree cards. And I tried to find ones that were as simple as possible. So I didn't want a bunch of distracting colors and stuff. And I just keep them, I got all 4 operations in a little index box, and I labeled it. And I just have 3 sections. I have practice more, mastered, and then these are the ones. I haven't added in the division ones yet for him. And another thing a lot of people do, and I did buy it, was Karen from our house made a math fact flashcard guide. I like the colors on it too, it's cute. And it gives a nice sequence of which ones, what order of the math facts to practice. So that was one of the first things I did, was get this and some flashcards. So that's linked there too. So that would be, a more Robinson approach, I think, just to do the flashcards and the math fact guide, and maybe add in some abacus work with it, and the abacus flashcards, and then number stories. Having some kind of math related book that you're reading is cool. Then you could go more of the full curriculum approach, which I am doing with my middle son. He's just really good at math. I don't know what else to say. He didn't get that from me. So he can easily just do more. He just picks up on stuff really well, and he is interested in math. He picks up our our fun math books around the house, and he'll choose to read those for his Kids' Choice reading time that I do every day. Yeah, didn't get that from me. Anyway, so I went with Ray's Arithmetic, and that is included, the printable form with RC. I just loved it so much. I just went ahead and bought the whole set in hard form. I'm just kind of a sucker for books. And we've been really loving this. I like the approach. I like how there's a focus on literacy with the math, because I really think it's vital to enrich their literacy skills early on. So if you are going the full curriculum full math curriculum route, you may want to go with Ray's new primary arithmetic. And all the Rays are available with RC. You can print them, and they're also can be found in the public domain, I believe. They have a strong expectation of literacy, and you realize how much that's been taken out of our modern education. It's all just abstract. Look at all this reading. I love it. So I started out doing Rays with my son last year when he was in first grade, and it got to a point where it just jumped too fast up for him, so I paused it. And that's what got me to create my own some of my own resources. So then I created my own addition and subtraction workbook, and that's linked to the document, and then I just found it together at home. So it is, and I give a methodology here, where I say to start with the Robinson Curriculum Math Flashcard Guide by Karen, this one. And these worksheets are made to be used in conjunction with the addition and subtraction math facts from that program. So along with the daily practice of flashcards, your student may complete a worksheet, so a worksheet in here, and it may be helpful to do the tracing pages multiple times. So I've got just different activities. These just worked really well, and then they start getting blended together. So this was really helpful. I actually, even my 5th grader last year, I realized he still didn't know some of his math facts. And so we actually paused and we went back and had him do this workbook again and the addition and the multiplication and division one that I also have. And it greatly, when he went back to his Saxon, it was just greatly helpful. Much less errors, and he was getting through his work in a much quicker time. Okay, so we did that. We paused, raised, we went to a more straightforward workbook that I made, and then we went back to raise, and I just started all over again. And this time I bought the workbooks that go along with it. And this saved me a ton of time because I was just having him do the work in a notebook, but I was having to do a lot of writing in the notebook myself. And this just makes my life so much easier. I just say, okay, just open up your book and do the next page in your workbook today. This. And then at the bottom, they'll have some oral work. So it'll say something like, answer the questions 1 through 9 in lesson 30, page 33 in your textbook. Ask your teacher to ask you the questions. And so then we have a little oral check at the end. And I like to have him check his work, go back, and if he doesn't know anything or if I correct it and there was some wrong, a lot of times he'll use the abacus to go back and solve those. So I don't let them use calculators. That's a Robinson thing. And there's not, this doesn't have answers in the back for them. And I'm trying to get them to work as independently as possible. So the abacus is really helpful for that. Hey, Will.
Hi.
Okay, so you did a workbook page in your Raise Arithmetic, right?
Yes.
And there was just one problem you were kind of stuck on. What was it? Can you tell me?
It was 15 less 8.
15 less 8. Okay, how would you solve that by counting up?
Wait, so we start with 8. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then you take away 8.
Wait, what do you mean you take away 8? What was the problem?
It was 15 less 8.
15 less 8. So you started at 8, you counted up to 15, and how many did it take you?
It took me 7.
Okay, so write down 7. Now if you want to check your answer because you're not sure on the abacus, why don't you do that subtraction on the abacus and show me how you do it?
15.
15 is 1, 10, and 5 ones. Okay, and how many are taking away?
Taking away 8.
Go ahead. 5. You're regrouping. Okay, good. 6, 7, 8. How many are you left with?
7.
7. Is that the same answer that you had for counting up? So is it right?
Yeah.
Good job. Math games as well on here. So last year we learned to play Shut the Box, which we still play. And then I picked up this book, Mazes. I want something, let's say you're having a really off day or the kids are having an off day. I like having something that's still working their logic, part of their brain. And, like a maze. And let them do some flashcard practice, right pile, wrong pile, call it a day, So there's some days I have different strategies, or some seasons of life I have to have different strategies because there's just more going on, or I just have less bandwidth for whatever reason to be around. So that's why I've set up, a focus. You can choose just math facts, like with the flashcards, a full curriculum, something like Raise, or more minimal curriculum, something like these, these workbook pages from Teachers Pay Teachers that I linked, and, something like a math game like this. Okay, so I think that covers pretty much first grade, some different directions you could take. You know, different kids too will want to do, like my first son and my second son are totally different. Like I have to be much more minimal with my first son. But my second son, especially with math, we can just cover a lot more. He's just, they're just different, you know, and then I'm still waiting to see what my youngest is going to be like. But I feel like I've charted two kind of math paths. So I'm hoping he'll fit into one or the other so I don't have to come up with a third. Okay, if you have any questions about anything I talked about today or any of the resources I linked, leave me a comment, or if there's something that you want to see me do a video on, I'd love to hear what that is. I'm always looking for new ideas.